What is happening in one home should not bleed into the other. So if there is, let's give an example. If there's an argument in one house with one wife and the husband, then the husband isn't to carry that over into the next house, because that is something that he has to control. He is not the person to come in and go, well, you know what she said? She did it, she made me mad. Because then that makes us a part of it. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, in this video, let's get right into it. Oftentimes, I've been DM'd about how do I prepare for my night with our husband, Coach Nazir. And shout out to my wonderful co-wife, Coach Nyla. For those of you that are new, I am the initial wife of 2 in polygyny. Now, that means we are monogamously married to the same man, so which would be Coach Nazir. And my co-wife and I are not married to one another. That's for clarification, again, for those of you that are new. So let's jump right into this video. I've been asked, how do I prepare to have a night with my husband, or how does he prepare to have a night with me? Now, that is a video for him to film, not me. Now, we say that this is his night with one of us, or we share nights and he just alternates every 24 hours. And that works for our family. That might not work for everybody else, and that's okay. You have to figure out what times or what scheduling works for your family, because some brothers or husbands are traveling. Every wife doesn't live in the same city, same time zone, even the same country. So they have to do what they have to do. Now, if you don't like honesty and firm truth, then you might want to check out of this video, because I like to provide transparency, honesty. I don't act right all the time. I have not acted right in the past all the time. I'm a human being. I'm a person. I'm a wife, and I am a mother, and I am learning. Again, I want to just say, for some people that might not know, I'm a practicing Muslim. So it is important to me and our family that we observe the rights of one another, including the nights of one another as wives. So now, one of the ways I prepare to have a great night with my husband is that I make sure my home is clean, of course, and there's snacks or food available for him. I've cooked for myself. I cook for my family. My daughter helps cook as well. We like to take turns, and I love her for it. But I specifically prepare myself mentally. And what does that mean? The interesting thing about being in polygyny and sharing a husband and sharing different time and making sure everybody has their rights is that I noticed that some want peace in polygyny, but they don't want to participate in that peace. What does that mean? When a husband comes home, the last thing he wants to see is your face looking like a can of worms, angry, full of rage, possibly throwing things at him or unleashing hell through your words. If you want peace in polygyny, let's speak it, and let's have it in our hearts first. Let's have it in our intentions first. So there's no way that a sane person will want peace in their home and at the same time unleash every negative emotion that they're feeling when their husband comes in for the night. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I know it from experience. I know it through coaching and counseling. I know through watching my own relatives, my grandparents, interact in a negative way, especially at nighttime before bed. The arguments and all these things would be just in our home. It was like a monster, and then it would just spread like a cancer. So you can't have peace and then you're packaging it and going, okay, I'm going to meet the peace with toxicity. And then we're going to have a peaceful night because I'm going to say whatever I want to say, how I want to say it, when I want to say it. As soon as he get in here, I'm going off. And then he's going to take it. And then we're going to continue on the rest of the night and have peace, or the rest of the next day and have peace. It does not work that way. It would not work that way with us. If we were the one coming in and we were met with that, because it is challenging to get from up under the words that are hurtful that we use against one another. You can't have it both ways. You can't have love and peace. And then you're having war through your words, actions, or intentions. So some of the ways that I make sure I'm peaceful as an initial wife, as a wife, period, because this is something for all of us as wives. It doesn't matter if you're initial or subsequent, because we all must respect our roles as wives. One of the ways I do that is I'm in personal development all the time. And I make sure that if something is of concern, I don't like to call it a problem. I like to call it a concern, because then I know, okay, there's hope and I can get clarity and I can communicate what's going on with me. And then I give him a chance to get under it and offer that. And if he can say, I don't know, then I'm accepting of the fact that he doesn't know and he hasn't thought that far ahead, or he hasn't figured that out yet. That's okay. And that's cool with me, because I know there's a process and there's progress within it. So I make sure I check my emotional climate. I make sure I like going to sleep happy. I like going to sleep with something funny beforehand. I love that. I like going to sleep around things that are just so peaceful. My home, my words, my deeds, how I prepare myself mentally is so important to the success of my evening. Same goes for Coach Nazir. He has to, what's happening in one home, and it goes either way. What is happening in one home should not bleed into the other. So if there is, let's give an example. If there's an argument in one house with one wife and the husband, then the husband isn't to carry that over into the next house, because that is something that he has to control. He is not the person to come in and go, well, you know what she said? She did it. She made me mad, because then that makes us a part of it. So best practices for best results is to keep what is going on in one house to the other private. And that's on the husband to really do that. And it's so important, because we don't want to listen. And my co-wife always says this. We don't want to listen with this bias, whether it's our videos, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's co-wife to co-wife. We have to have some ability to say, okay, I'm neutral. This is not my business. I'm not going to make it my business. And we're good to not overshare things so that we're not unintentionally hurting one another. So yes, since the husband is the one that's specifically practicing polygyny, it is the best practice for best results for him to not share information or allow what is going on negatively in one house to go into the other house. Now, these are his homes with his individual wives, because they're monogamously married to the same man. So controlling my state of mind is important. Him controlling his state of mind is important. It is your responsibility to control your state of mind. It's no one else's. So let's not get that mixed up. Let's have some clarification. I control how I feel and what I say to myself, about my marriage, about my husband. Now, my co-wife and I are going to say my when it applies. When we're sitting together, we say our husband. When we're sitting apart, we'll say our husband, but oftentimes we'll say my husband. That doesn't mean ownership. I'm just letting everyone know that this is a conversation. This is a video about what I specifically do before my husband comes in the house. So checking my state of mind, checking my environment, and making sure there's an amount of serenity in my home. So My house is quiet by the time my husband comes in. It's not, now if it is, that's okay too. Because again, you're doing what you all are used to for your home. And that might look different from house to house. And that is okay. Again, you're doing what's good for your house, for the home that you share with your husband. It's not your job to tell your co-wife what she needs to be doing in her house for peace, because it might look different than what you do. And that's all right. Again, I feel it is important for co-wives to validate one another, although you do not have to. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to like each other. Being cordial matters. But I'm blessed with a co-wife that's really awesome, and she doesn't cause any issues with me. I don't cause any issues with her. We don't do that with each other. We're grown. We're accountable for our actions, especially as practicing Muslims. So I make sure that I'm checking the climate of our home. And again, it doesn't have to look like my co-wife's house. It doesn't. We like having our own individual styles, our own individual relationship styles, love languages. All those things are different. Do we have the same core values as a family? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, but we're two different people. And if you guys have been here long enough, you know that we're different. We're different people. Her way is not wrong. My way is not wrong. We are just not each other, and we don't share the same soul, and we're not supposed to by design. So that is the beauty of it. That's the beauty of having your own individual marriages within polygyny. So checking my emotional climate, checking the environment in my home, and making sure it's peaceful, making sure that everybody can rest well and feel like they're welcomed, especially a man who is switching houses. You know, again, these are his homes. You know, I don't go, well, you know, when you come over here and then when you go back home, I don't talk like that to him because he lives in both places and they're both his homes. And I wouldn't diminish that fact at all, not even to myself. Not even in my weakest times, I've never done that. So if I could offer any advice, it's to make sure that you're doing those things and do something that you all like to do, and not trying to compare yourself and be in anybody else and be in any other marriage. Do what you two enjoy as a couple, whatever that might be. If it's watching a movie, I don't care if it's playing cards. In our case, if it's reading Quran, if it's praying together, you know, do those things, because those are good relationship builders, and you bond in that way. We already know, without going into detail, what men and women do to bond, husband and wives do to bond physically, but let's talk about emotionally, spiritually. Okay, what are those things? What do they look like for you? And if you don't know what they look like for you all, have the conversation. We always say that here at Outstanding Personal Relationships. Make sure before I end this video that you guys are subscribed, hit the notification bell, and make sure you also connect with us at our polygamymasterclass.com for more details, because we go more in depth over there. Follow us on our socials, Outstanding Personal Relationships on Facebook and YouTube, and on IG, we're Outstanding Relationships. So I hope you guys got some gems from this video. For those of you that stayed for the entire video, leave in the comments what you love to do with your spouse. Remember, we're going to keep it clean for the community. We're going to keep it clean because we do have children that do watch these videos with their family, and we're going to respect that in each other. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with a little GLC. Make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Coach Fatimah, I will see you all in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Just want to give you all a heads up on my group coaching. I'm so excited about it. So many of you have asked about it. And if you're on a wait list, make sure that you sign up to be on my wait list for group coaching by visiting coachfatimah.com to register for that. It's so exciting. I have so many different things to share with you all. If you want to level up and meet the champion within, please join and become a part of the wait list. I'll see you guys soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.